leave a message.
What's popping, everybody? Welcome back to J-City. Let's start this video off with a little story. So when I was like 12 years old, I got this baby G-Shock as a gift from a family member, and I loved wearing that watch. I wore it all the time until I got to summer camp, and there's this kid, I don't know, let's nickname him Mr. G-Shock. Mr. G-Shock bullied me while he was wearing his big boy G-Shock and I was wearing the puny little baby G-Shock, and it got to the point when I actually stopped wearing that watch forever. Until now, I'm coming back strong with the Apple Watch Series 6 and I've been wearing it for the past month and a half, with 2 months fast approaching. And today I'm going to be giving you my honest opinion on the Apple Watch Series 6 from a buyer's perspective. The reason why I chose to do a long-term review rather than just a quick review a week after it was released, it's because I think that you can't really fully review a product unless you've been using it for the past decent amount of time. That's how you're able to know the ins and outs of the product you're using. And the second reason is because I'm a really busy university student. Now, I was actually in your position not too long ago. I was constantly debating whether or not I should buy the current Apple Watch or the next one that is going to be released next year. This is also called the wait-walk dilemma because, you know, when you're at bus stop, should you wait or should you walk? Or anyways, when I heard that the Apple Watch has all of the features that it has this year, I was like, yo, I gotta cop this, fam. After I got this product, I discovered so many little things and hidden features that I didn't even know existed with an Apple Watch because, you know, Apple doesn't talk about it. A lot of tech YouTubers don't talk about it. Like, of course, we all know the headlining feature, which is that this Apple Watch has the new blood oxygen sensor. I legit didn't know that you can unlock your Mac using your Apple Watch, or that different media controls can pop up on your watch depending on what kind of app you're using on your iPhone. But before we dive right into the hidden features of the Apple Watch Series 6, let's talk about the headlining features of the new Apple Watch Series 6, starting with the new blood oxygen sensor. I think the blood oxygen sensor on the Apple Watch does work decently well, but you know, I can't confirm because I don't have a medical grade blood oxygen sensor myself, you know, the ones that clip onto your finger. But in my testing, I think it does work decently well because I did hold my breath for as long as I can, and I was able to get it down to lower numbers, and then once I took a couple of deeper breaths in, I was able to get it to like a higher number, so I think it works pretty well. I also really like the new hand washing feature. When I first heard about this feature, I thought that it might be kind of bad because maybe there would be a lot of false alarmsies while you're washing the dishes or you're, you know, brushing your teeth. But it really does only activate when you wash your hands because it uses the motion sensors on it to kind of detect when you're washing your hands, and it uses the microphones to kind of pick up on the sound of the soap scrubbing. All that works in conjunction with each other to create a feature that I legitimately use like all the time, especially during this flu season. The new altimeter also works pretty well. I personally don't hike that much, so it doesn't affect me too much, but if you're a hiker, then I think this feature would be very nice to you. The always on display is also 2.5 times brighter than the previous generation with your wrist down, so that you can see your content in the sun even with your wrist down. Sleep tracking also works decently well. It legit knows when you're asleep or you're awake automatically, and you can check the duration of your sleep in the health app. But the health app doesn't tell you if you're in light sleep or if you're in deep sleep, and that's when third-party apps come in. For example, for me, I personally use Sleepwatch, and it's able to kind of predict whether you're in light sleep or in deep sleep. But again, I'm not sure how accurate this feature is because I think you need a full-on electroencephalogram in order to accurately measure your brain activity. By the way, this was a feature that was unlocked with watchOS 7, so this is not exclusive to just the Apple Watch Series 6, so it works for Apple Watch Series 3 and up. The ECG app still works pretty well on this Apple Watch, and this feature has been here since the Apple Watch Series 4. Siri still works as you would expect from any Apple product, but with the Apple Watch, you don't even have to say, you just have to raise your wrist towards your Apple Watch and start talking to it, and it's going to automatically pick up that you're summoning Siri. Now let's talk about the features that no one really talks about. The features that I personally learned while using the Apple Watch for almost 2 months now. I can't guarantee that you've never heard of these features before, but at least one of them you probably have never heard before. Unless of course you've had an Apple Watch before. First, I just can't emphasize enough how good I think the taptic engine is on this Apple Watch. It can go from the lightest tap to like being a full-on can I say that word? Vibrating neck massager. I can't believe I didn't know this. In the calculator app, you can calculate tip and calculate it if you're to split it among a certain number of people. This is so useful. I honestly don't even know why the iPhone app doesn't have this tip feature. Let's say you lose your phone somewhere in the house and it's still within Bluetooth range. You can actually ping your phone from your watch, and you'll have to go through the whole Find My iPhone process. It's just really simple and very intuitive. Now, going back to health, the sleep mode I think is done very brilliantly on the Apple Watch. Some people might think, well, aren't you gonna get distracted because there's an Apple Watch on your wrist while you're sleeping? Well, no, because the Apple Watch turns off the display on your watch to first save battery and second to remove distractions. And then the second thing is when you tap the screen, that's when it shows you the time with a really simple interface. And then if you really want to interact with like your apps on your watch, then you have to turn your crown a certain number of times and then it's going to unlock your watch. I think this is brilliant because there are no accidental mishaps with any apps. You might accidentally click something when you're sleeping. That's not gonna happen. I think that's very brilliant of Apple to do this. Oh, and if you really wanted to, you can use your Apple Watch display as a flashlight. It's not going to be bright, but if you're, let's say like going to the washroom in the middle of the night, like, I mean, I guess it could work. When I heard that you can set a password on your Apple Watch, I was like, I don't really want to have to enter my password into my watch every single time I want to use it, because that's going to be inconvenient, right? Like, you know, I didn't know, but it turns out there's wrist detection on your watch. So you really only have to unlock it once, and then it's going to be unlocked for the duration of when you're wearing the watch. And then when you take it off, then it's going to automatically lock for you. And if you're really secure about your watch, you can set it so that you enter a password every single time, but I wouldn't do that. I didn't know that if you set a wake up alarm on your Apple Watch, when you wake up, your Apple Watch is going to greet you good morning. It's going to tell you the weather and the time. It's going to tell you the battery percentage on your watch and like a lot of like other fun stuff. It basically gives you a summary of the day. Also, the Apple Watch has HomeKit, and you can imagine with HomeKit, you can unlock the garage door, you can unlock the front door, change the colors of your lights, you can turn on and off lights. So you can do that from your wrist. And if you're wondering about the microphone quality, here's a microphone quality test and a speaker test. So this is a microphone quality test of the Apple Watch Series 6 from about 1 foot away. Hey Siri, what is 10 factorial?
10 factorial is 3,628,800.
The watch also takes random heart rate checks and blood oxygen level checks throughout the day, and you can check these results in your health app. The watch also notifies you and kind of reminds you to be active and kind of fill out your activity rings so that it motivates you to get the exercise you need. For me, the battery life is no problem at all. I usually charge it at night to pretty much 100%. I sleep and then I wake up and then it goes to the nighttime, and I usually end with around 30 to 40% battery, so I think it's pretty good. And the Apple Watch does charge pretty quickly because it does support fast charging. If I were to charge it from 30%, it would take not even an hour, it would take like 45 minutes. Media controls also pop up depending on what app you're using. So for example, if you're using Spotify on your phone, then you can skip, play, pause, you can change the volume all on your watch. And you can even pick songs, you can pick albums, playlists, artists to choose from on your wrist. And no one really talks about this, but the Apple Watch does feature the U1 chip, which kind of makes your watch more spatially aware of other devices that also have the U1 chip. Right now, there doesn't seem to be any useful major features that are associated with the U1 chip, but it's good to know that Apple future-proofed this watch for the future and that maybe a future software update is going to unlock some feature with the U1 chip. Oh, and by the way, from pretty much any app on your Apple Watch, if you palm your Apple Watch, it's going to automatically take you back to the clock. Yo, and I love this feature. With the wake up alarm app, you can set it so that your phone isn't gonna vibrate. It's not gonna make any noise, but your watch is going to wake you up by tapping you and vibrating the watch. I think this is a really good feature for people like university students in a double room that have a roommate so that you don't like wake each other up. It'll just wake you up with haptics. And this is the first Apple Watch with 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi, which is a pretty big deal because 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi is pretty significantly slower. You can set up Apple Pay in the Wallet app on your Apple Watch and use it pretty much exactly as you would on your iPhone. And personally, I think one of the most underrated features of the Apple Watch of all time is probably fall detection. Fall detection is when you fall and then it kind of detects when you have fallen and it can call the emergency services for you even though you're unconscious. Like, this is such a good feature. Like, people don't realize this, but like life is legitimately very fragile. And let's say you're even like a really fit person. Let's say you're like going for a hike and then you misstep and you like fall off the cliff and you hit your spine and you get paralyzed. Then you can't call for help, no one knows you're there, but your Apple Watch can detect when you have fallen and call the emergency services for you. And you know, this could save your life, like I'm serious. And even if you don't hike or anything, I think this would be a really good feature for elders. There are tons of stories out there, you know, Apple talks about them, news channels talks about them, where an Apple Watch has saved someone's life. Like, I know it might be like super cheesy, but you know, these are real people that have friends and family that care about them. So fall detection, super great feature. I think it is really underrated. Now, here are my thoughts after almost 2 months of wearing this Apple Watch. I've been given almost 2 months to formulate this answer. First, do I personally think that the Apple Watch is worth the hefty price tag? Feel free to disagree with me on this, but you know, I honestly think that the Apple Watch Series 6 is worth the money because you're paying for Apple, you're paying for their premium build quality, their software integration with iOS and the rest of the Apple ecosystem, and you're also paying for the plethora of health apps that come with the Apple Watch. Like, this watch is a fitness fanatic's dream. And I know that Apple is not really known for their customizability. I would say that the Apple Watch is very customizable because this is such a personal device. There are so many watch faces that you can choose from, and you can even customize the complications of your Apple Watch. Plus, you can choose the different colors of like the text and like even the little fine details. Like, there are so many watch face possibilities. For me personally, when I chose this watch face, I like the watch face, but I don't really look at humidity that much. So I switched out humidity with the UV index, which is something that I actually use more. But if you're another user, maybe you want to look at your activities more, or maybe you want to look at your calendar more. With the Apple Watch, you can customize these things however you like. The Apple Watch is a device that is designed to work hand in hand with the iPhone. Like, you can reply to messages and mail straight from your wrist using the handwriting feature or dictation, but me personally, I wouldn't do that like as much because, you know, why do that on your wrist when you can already like do it on your phone with a bigger screen? If you're a person that doesn't have their hands currently free, or if you're like working out, then I would see why this quick reply feature would be pretty nice. But when I'm outside the house, I really wouldn't use the dictate feature that much because, you know, I don't really want to read out my messages out loud in the public. And an Apple Watch, I think, is a product that you keep for a very long time. You're probably going to change your phone before you change your Apple Watch. And trust me, this Apple Watch will last you a very long time. Like, I have a friend with an Apple Watch Series 2 and she still loves using it. Apple is constantly updating their watches to support the latest watchOS software so that you can unlock their newest features. Now, who is the Apple Watch even for? For me personally, the biggest one obviously is going to be for the fitness fanatics. This watch is a Fitbit's dream because you're able to see the number of calories burnt, you're able to see your heart rate, it can measure your VO2 max, it can measure the duration of your exercise, the type of exercise, and there are so many exercises to choose from. You can measure your VO2 max, and you can even swim with your Apple Watch because there is a water resistant rating of 50 meters, and you can eject the water with the water eject feature after you're done swimming. And this year, Apple is rolling out Apple Fitness Plus. You can see your heart rate, you can see the duration of your exercise, you can see the calories burnt right on your screen so that you are more immersed in the experience. Also, I think the Apple Watch is a very useful asset for elders because of first fall detection and all of the heart monitoring apps like the EKG app on the Apple Watch. I think this will really help elders and maybe even save their life. And this watch is also for people that, simply want to stay in the Apple loop, that wants the extra Apple Watch to kind of immerse themselves in the Apple ecosystem. Is this a product that you need in your life right now? The answer is no. You don't need an Apple Watch to live. It's not like your phone. Like if you don't have your phone, then that's a different story. But if you don't have an Apple Watch, it's whatever. An Apple Watch is just a device that is nice to have. For me personally, I think it's just really nice how I'm able to see all of my notifications on my wrist. Let's say I'm going on a bike ride. I don't have to pull my phone out of my pocket in order to see the notifications. And if I'm on a bike ride, I can even answer phone calls right from my wrist. Those are features that are really nice to have. So in conclusion, Apple really followed the model of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Because, the fundamental design hasn't changed since the Series 4, which was a really good design. But what I think is more important are the changes under the hood of the Apple Watch. For example, the S6 processor that this watch has is faster and more power efficient than the previous generation, and this allows the watch to be able to have a 2.5 times brighter always on display and a much snappier experience. You might think that I am not being honest with you in this review because, I'm only saying good things about this Apple Watch, but that's the truth. Like I seriously, personally can't find any major flaws with the Apple Watch. I mean, the only thing that this watch isn't able to do is microwave my hot pocket for me. What the heck, Apple? Hey Siri, what the heck, man? Sure, the battery life, bezels, display tech can be improved over time, but the overall package from the seamless unboxing experience to actually setting your Apple Watch up to actually using it daily is just second to none. Apple really prides themselves in making a product that is very seamless and intuitive to use. So to sum up this video all in one sentence, yes, the Apple Watch Series 6 is a very good product and you will not regret buying it.
Try to bully me now, Mr. G Shaw.
If you are new to J City, I make videos about tech, my university experience, as well as with photography and filmmaking. I really pride myself in making videos that are very informative and very high quality. So if you want to support me and my videos, then you should definitely sub to the channel with the bell notifications enabled because that will really mean the world to me. I'm trying to push the 10K by the end of 2020 and I'll definitely have more videos coming. If you want to see the behind the scenes of how I shot the intro to this video, you can click this card right here. And if you want to see other videos that YouTube thinks you might like, then it will be down here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you in the next video. Stay safe and have a good day. Peace.